Yesterday we have learned some important aspects regarding circular motion. That is circular motion, uniform circular motion, and some of the examples regarding it. On that, one can ask some questions. That is, question number 1. Define circular motion. Give some examples. Next, question number 2. Define uniform circular motion. Give some examples. The next question that can be asked on this article is, state the characteristics of circular motion. State the characteristics of circular motion. The next question, define A. Angular displacement. B. Angular velocity. C. Angular acceleration. State its SI unit and dimension. Next question. Mind out this question number 4 that can be asked rather different way. That is question number 4. Define A. Angular displacement. B. Angular velocity. C. Angular acceleration. Some part of this question it is same, but the next point that will be different, that is, give the direction of each quantity. And all of these questions that will be asked for 1 or 2 marks. In the combination they will be asked for 2 marks. If they are asked separately, then they will be asked for single mark, that is for 1 mark. Today we are going to proceed for next article, that is centripetal force and centrifugal force, that is the dynamics of rotational motion. Now hereafter I'll give question first and then I'll answer for that. So on dynamics of circular motion, the article is dynamics of circular motion. In this, the first question will be, that is question number 6. that will be define centripetal force. Give some examples. Next, question number 7, it will be define centrifugal force. Give some examples. Now combinedly, a question can be asked like this. Distinguish between centripetal force and centrifugal force. So, these are possible questions which can be asked for today's article. Let us proceed for this article. First of all, we will learn what is centripetal force and its example. Again, we will learn what is centrifugal force and its examples. See here. We are going to learn the circular motion. What is circular motion? The motion of a particle along the circumference of the circle. The motion of a particle along the circumference of the circle, it is called as circular motion. Suppose a particle is performing circular motion along the circumference of the circle. By Newton's second law of motion, every motion that is being performed by according to Newton's second law Now here, consider this particle, it is performing circular motion. The mass of the particle is m. Now, the circular motion, it is performed with radius r and linear velocity v. For the circular motion, there is a centripetal acceleration, that is a radial acceleration, it is responsible. Or in short, we can say that the circular motion, it is performed under the action of centripetal acceleration. Now, this centripetal acceleration, it is directed towards the center of the circle. It has linear velocity v, radius r. What is centripetal force? The force which is directed towards the center of the circle along the radius, the force which is directed towards the center of the circle along the radius and which is responsible for performing the circular motion, it is called as centripetal force. Now, mind you, this is centripetal force that occurs due to non-interaction. It occurs due to non-interactions. What I mean by this? Non-interaction means that whenever there is a interaction or certain force between two bodies, that is known to be the interaction. For example, Earth is revolving around the Sun. The necessary centripetal force is provided by the gravitational force of attraction between Earth and Sun. Moon is revolving around the Earth. The necessary centripetal force is given by the gravitational force between the moon and earth. If a pebble is taken, tied to the string and held in a horizontal circle, then what happens? The pebble performs uniform circular motion or circular motion. In this case, the necessary centripetal force for performing the circular motion by the pebble, it is provided by the tension in the string. Another example, the electrons revolving surrounding to the nucleus. When electrons are revolving surrounding to the nucleus, there is a electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the electrons. So here, this centripetal force, it occurs due to non-interaction. Next point, it occurs in a inertial frame of reference. What is inertial frame of reference? The frame of reference in which the Newton's laws are obeyed. Newton's laws of motion, they are related with the inertia, and that's why it is called as an inertial frame of reference. In short, we say that the centripetal force occurs in an inertial frame of reference. C point, it is a real force. Mind here, these centripetal force, it occurs due to non-linear interaction, and therefore these forces, they are real forces. One of the example I will tell you, that is when we have to drive our vehicle along the curved road, that time we have to lean inward. For example, a cyclist is moving along the curved road, that time he has to lean inward. Why he has to lean inward? It is very simple, that is, when he is moving along the curved road, he is performing circular motion. To maintain the circular motion or to avoid the skidding of vehicle from the road surface, he has to lean inward so that the centripetal force acting on it, it is balanced and the circular motion is performed. So this is about the centripetal force. Now with this, we will proceed for next, that is centrifugal. Centrifugal force, that is CFF. This centrifugal force, many times we experience. For example, you are sitting in a merry-go-round. When does merry-go-round attains maximum speed, that time the inclination goes on increasing. Why this inclination it is going on increasing? Because you are under the action of centrifugal force. This force, it is directed away from the center of the circle. Of course, when the centrifugal force it is more, that time a vehicle can speed up from the road surface. Another example I would like to tell you, that is, if you are sitting in the car and suddenly that car takes turn to the left, automatically the passengers inside the car, they are getting pushed towards the right. Who is pushing you? The centrifugal force is responsible for that, and therefore we can define centrifugal force like this. The force which is directed away from the center of the circle along the radius, it is called as a centrifugal force. One more point I would like to add for centripetal force. The magnitude of centripetal force, or the centripetal force, is given by CPF equal to minus mr omega square or minus mv square by r. Here, this negative sign indicates that the motion is directed towards the center of the circle, or the centrifugal force, centripetal force, it is directed towards the center of the circle. Now, let us see some properties of the centrifugal force. First property is its definition. Again, I repeat, the force which is directed along the radius away from the center of the circle, it is called as a centrifugal force. And therefore, there are certain properties for this centrifugal force. The first property is that it do not occur due to non-interaction They do not occur due to non-interaction. Meanwhile, while you are traveling along the car with the car, that time if the car is suddenly shifted or it is turning towards the left, automatically you are getting pushed towards right. Then who is pushing you? Nobody is pushing you, and that's why it is a non-interaction. It is a unknown interaction. Next, it occurs in non-inertial frame of reference. It occurs in a non-inertial frame of reference where Newton's laws are not obeyed. It means this motion it is not exactly maintained by the inertia of the body. That's why we can say that it occurs not in a non-inertial frame of reference. It occurs due to high acceleration Next, it is not a real force. It is not real force, but it is not an imaginary force. Next, the magnitude of or the centrifugal force is given by plus mr omega square or plus mv square by r. And the examples are that if a person is sitting in a horizontal merry-go-round, then when that merry-go-round attains maximum speed, ultimately the person is shifted away. Another example, a motorcyclist moving along a curved road, if he is not going to balance the centripetal force, he is getting skid off from the road surface, and you might be experience these things. Next, the wall of death or veil of death. It is also called as a mouth ka kua. In circus, you might be seen a person or a cyclist or a motorcyclist, he is moving in a well. While he is moving, he is in a horizontal direction. And what happens? Still he is moving in a horizontal direction. He is under the action of centrifugal force, and that's why his motion it is continued. So these are certain examples for centrifugal forces, and these are certain characteristics, and this is article Dynamics of Circular Motion. With this we are going to proceed for next article, that is certain applications of uniform circular motion. Applications of uniform circular motion. In this case, we are going to consider vehicle along a horizontal circular track. Vehicle along a circular track. A question can be asked like this. Obtain an expression for maximum velocity for a vehicle moving along a horizontal curved road. Obtain an expression for maximum safety speed along horizontal curved road. To answer for this question, let us draw this diagram. This is, of course, a road surface. This is radius of curvature when the vehicle is moving along the horizontal curved road. This is normal reaction. If m is mass of the vehicle, g is acceleration due to gravity, then weight of the vehicle, it will be m into g. And this is frictional force. Very important to note that, see here, this is the vehicle, these are the tires of the vehicle. This vehicle, it is moving perpendicular to the plane of this board. During this, some of the forces are acting on this. The weight of the vehicle, that is vertically downward direction. The normal reaction in upward direction. The coefficient of static friction or frictional force which is directed towards the center of the circle. For this question, we may answer like this. Consider a vehicle is moving along a horizontal curved road. When it is moving along a horizontal curved road, at any instant, the weight of the vehicle, the forces acting on the vehicle are A. Weight of in vertically downward direction. That is mg. Second, normal reaction in vertically upward direction. That is capital N. Now, where this vehicle it is moving along a horizontal curved road, that time it is performing circular motion. This circular motion it is performed under the action of centripetal force, or we can say that the centripetal acceleration. So, centripetal force. This centripetal force is given by m/r omega square or mv square by r. Now, from this figure, there is normal reaction and weight of the vehicle. They are opposite in direction. Therefore, they are getting cancelled with each other. Or we can say that these two vectors, they are getting balanced. And therefore, we write from figure this n equal to m into g. This is suppose equation number 1. When the vehicle is moving along a horizontal curve road, this frictional force balances the centripetal force, and therefore we write this Fs equal to mv square by r. This is equation number 2. Divide equation 1 by 2. We get Fs upon n equal to mv square by r upon mg. This m and m gets cancelled and we get this as a v square upon r into g. V square upon r into g. Now here the mg and normal, that is the weight of the vehicle, and normal reaction, it is constant. Even though this vehicle, it is performing circular motion, this frictional force, it is getting balanced with the centripetal force. It is getting balanced with the centripetal force because of the friction between the tires of the vehicle and the road surface. If mu s is coefficient of static friction between the road surface and the tires, we write the Fs maximum upon n equal to mu s. Fs upon n equal to mu s. For this v equal to v max, it means that when the vehicle is moving with maximum speed along a horizontal curve road, that time it attains the if it attains the maximum speed, then from this equation 3, this is equation 3, this is equation 4. From this equation 3 and 4, we write this mu s equal to v square upon rg, and therefore v square equal to mu s or mu rg. Taking square root on both sides, we write this v max equal to square root of mu rg, and this is the expression for, this is expression for maximum speed when the vehicle is moving along a horizontal curve road. So this is about the maximum speed or maximum safety speed along a horizontal curve road. One thing you please note that here this m, that is mass of the vehicle, it is absent in this expression, which indicates that the maximum safety speed, it is independent of mass of the vehicle. It depends on, again, it can be asked, state the factors on which the maximum speed depends. So these are the factors on which the maximum speed depends, that is coefficient of static friction, radius of curvature, and acceleration due to gravity. Mind well, here this maximum safety speed, it is independent of mass of the vehicle. The